Strange creatures aren't anything new. We hear about them, you know. They're made mention of in different articles or cited. It's tough to say whether some of them are true or not, but it doesn't mean that people aren't seeing something in a certain respect. But just imagine if you were the person to spot something that was previously unseen or unknown. How do you grapple with that? How does your mind digest that? I mean, some people see a shooting star and they've never seen one before. They don't know what they're seeing. There's all kinds of occurrences like that are very easily mistaken or just kind of misconstrued.
Yeah, and people's memories are horrible too.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it.
Yeah.
The people that have seen certain things, in your mind, you have a memory of a memory. So
right.
First-hand accounts get kind of weird, but with this, you have such a volume of sightings of these type of creatures here in Ohio, and we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Many different variations and names, even regionally here, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the really kind of wild parts of it is how it ties in. You hear one instance here in Ohio, and I'll use here as a vague example. Just think of the center, and here is somewhere from there. But you hear these different stories spread around the state, but they all bear a lot of the same similarities.
Yeah.
There's, some pretty reliable witnesses.
Yeah. Police officers.
Let's make one little side note too. This is before there's a lot of widespread communication other than publication. Right.
Newspapers,
maybe
and reporters. A news article on the local news.
Right. So a very different style of presenting too. Today, it's you've got to sift through quite a bit.
Yeah, there's so much,
and even then, it's really tough to figure out what you're looking at sometimes. Mm-hmm. But that's what we're talking about today too, though, is we're talking about specific sightings, reliable people, and they're not seeing, it's a big bird or a bigger than normal fish, something like that. I mean, they're seeing something completely unexplainable, yet, there it is right in front of them. They scream at it, it goes away. There's physical evidence in the ground. Some of the cryptids we're going to be looking at today have some interesting names as well. And one of the first creatures we're going to talk about is the Ohio Grassman. We're also going to be talking about the Minerva Monster, the Cedar Bog Monster, and just kind of think of them like relatives, if you will. And then we're also going to talk about kind of an interesting one. I don't know what to make of it yet. I mean, kind of new to the lore of the Loveland Frogman, but hey.
And just a note, as we were kind of digging into this, we realized that the Ohio Grassman, in a lot of ways, is sort of like a umbrella term for our Bigfoot here. And so the Minerva Monster, the Cedar Bog Monster, these are Bigfoot. They're Sasquatch.
Right.
All the descriptions are similar, 6 to 10 feet tall in some cases, varied colors and so forth, which we'll get into all that. And then the Loveland Frogman.
It's not easy to say.
It's kind of its own weird thing. And if you haven't been to Loveland, Ohio, it's beautiful. It's along the Little Miami River. We'll get there.
I don't think I've ever been there, but I'm going to have to look at it. It's a beautiful
area. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a huge frog living somewhere in some river ravine. It's an interesting place.